Hey everyone, this is Jack for Think Computers, and we are taking a look at the ASUS OPLAY HD2 media player. Taking a look inside the box, you'll see that you get the unit itself, composite cables, the power cables, SATA and power cables for a 3.5 inch, not a 2.5 inch hard drive, and a remote with batteries. Taking a closer look at the OPLAY HD2, I think one of the first things you'll notice is how nice the unit looks. It has this shiny black finish, a little design on the top, a nice LED bar that goes across the front that'll illuminate blue when it's on or orange when it's off, or you can even just turn that off if that annoys you, which is really nice because sometimes you'll be watching movies and you'll have this bright light from your media player just shining in your face, but you can disable this one to completely go stealth. It's just a really nicely packaged device. Taking a look at the front of the OPLAY HD2, we'll notice it has a USB 2.0 port, an external SATA port, and an array of memory card readers. So you get memory stick, SD, and compact flash card readers. The back is home for however you want to hook your OPLAY HD2 up to your TV. You have component and composite outputs, coax and optical for audio, HDMI, 10100 Ethernet, USB 2.0, and a USB 3.0 super speed port for hooking the OPLAY HD2 directly up to your computer, so you could transfer large files really fast from your computer to the internal hard drive. And in case you're wondering what the inside looks like, here is what it is. This is where you would put your 3.5 inch hard drive. There is no support for a 2.5 inch drive. Powering on the OPLAY HD2, we're greeted with the ASUS logo. After the OPLAY HD2 has finished booting, we see the nice interface that ASUS has created. However, if you have a device plugged in, the first thing you'll notice is indexing displayed on the top left of your screen. What this means is it's going to search the entire device for media files. It's going to look for pictures, it's going to look for music, and video. Once it finds those, it's going to create a list, and the list will be used to populate the appropriate category on the OPLAY HD2. Now let's get into some video tests. I've created a montage of all the videos I tested. They've all been recorded from the OPLAY HD2, and you'll see a check mark on the bottom right if the OPLAY HD2 was able to play the video properly.
Be a timer. You can fly a plane. You can use like orders.
Larry Herb, Xbox Live's Major Nelson here in New York City with Gene Simmons. He's a rock star, he's a TV star, and now he's a guitar.
Did you hear that?
Hear what?
Are you sure this line is clean?
Yeah, of course I'm sure.
Now let's move on to some music tests. First, we'll test out a WAV file. As you guys can hear, it plays back fine. Next, we're going to move on to an AAC file, and if you check out the area I circled, the little timeline there with the red circle, you'll see that the timeline is not advancing. This only occurs with an AAC file, and I'm not sure why, but I thought it'd be something significant to point out. Onto an OGG, works fine. Now let's move on to a FLAC file. I'm going to pause for a second. I'm going to let you guys hear what the OPLAY HD2 produced. Pretty messed up, right? I encoded this FLAC file with compression level 8. When I used lower compression levels, I did not have playback problems on the OPLAY HD2. So it seems like it's only an issue if you have FLAC files with high compression. Let's check out some UPnP playback. If you happen to see our review on the Patriot PBO core, you might recall that the Patriot PBO core crashed when there were over 3,000 files in the directory. However, the OPLAY HD2 does not have this problem. As you can see, there's 3,200 files enumerated in here, and it plays back fine. Even though the playback is fine, you won't see any album art. A lot of these files have album art included, but the OPLAY HD2 did not display it. Moving right along to pictures, you can see everything pretty much works flawlessly on the OPLAY HD2 when it comes to pictures. Some other media players offer transitions between pictures during a slideshow or if you're just skipping through them. However, the OPLAY HD2 does not have any transitions. You're just going to cut right from one picture to another. That's not a big deal. You can still zoom and rotate your photos any way you want. So the OPLAY HD2 has more than enough support for photos. Perhaps one of the coolest features on the OPLAY HD2 is the ability to use your iPhone as a remote control. All you have to do is take your iPhone, open Safari, go to the OPLAY HD2's IP in the browser, and you get this nice interface. You're able to navigate the menu, and if you start playing a movie, you get more options as seen here. Or, if you start playing a song, you'll get these options. So depending on what you're doing, you get custom options for every single thing. As a result, you have a nice, almost complete remote control in the palm of your hand no matter where you're at. Let's go ahead and dive into the online world of the OPLAY HD2. And we'll see we have a lot of options here. There's internet radio, internet TV, Picasa, Flickr, weather, stock, RSS news, and podcast. So let's check out internet radio and see what we have here. They're all going to be shoutcast stations, and ASUS has organized everything pretty nicely. You get top 100, overall, or genre, so it's easy to find the stations that are most listened to. If you don't listen to one of the most listened to stations, there's a nice search feature which will help you out there. You cannot hook up a USB keyboard. However, the OPLAY HD2 does remember past input, so it is easy to search for something you've already searched for. Let's just go ahead and check out some smooth jazz. And here's some basic info about the smooth jazz station that we're listening to. However, you can see that there are no ID3 tags here. You're probably going to discover a lot of new music on internet radio, so it's disappointing to see that ID3 tags are not included here. Also, you cannot listen to internet radio in the background, so you have to stay on this screen the entire time if you want to listen to this station. Now on to internet TV. At first you might think, oh, YouTube or Hulu or some other, modern video support, but you're not going to get that here. What you're going to get is just basically an interface for Shoutcast TV. And Shoutcast TV used to be really good, and there used to be some really good stuff on it. It seems like most of that has gone away. However, the feature is still here. And here's a news broadcast from some random channel that I picked, just to show you guys that it does work, and if you do have something on Shoutcast TV that you want to watch, you can watch that. If we think a little bit outside of the box, you can set up your own Shoutcast TV stream, and that'll give you a way to get one video in a lot of rooms at your house at the same time. So you could have a lot of fun with the internet TV option on the OPLAY HD2. Moving right along, let's check out the Flickr app. When it first loads, it grabs the latest 50 pictures from Flickr. There's not much you can do with that if you just want to look at random pictures, and you can't really add your personal account, so I'm going to go ahead and search for OPLAY. And we get our results. Going through a few of the pictures, you'll see that the interface ASUS has included is pretty nice. However, they made every picture into a rectangle, and every picture is not a vertical rectangle. So the aspect ratio is off on pretty much every single picture. However, once you do put the image full screen, you will get the correct aspect ratio for that photo. But that's pretty much the Flickr app. Checking out the weather app on the OPLAY HD2. I've already saved my city, San Diego, but it was not difficult to find. It gives you a list and you can just pick your city. Once you get your city up, you get a nice forecast. You get the current conditions and the map of where you're at in case you're not sure. But, it's well done, and it tells you the weather. I think the stock feature is pretty cool. It'd be nice if the charts on the right could be enlarged a bit or made full screen, maybe a little browsable, moved to a specific date. Even though that's not there, it's not that big of a deal. It's still nice to get a general overview of what your stocks are doing or ones that you're watching. And adding and removing a stock is also pretty simple. As you can see, I'm going to remove Intel, and then I'm going to add Visa. So the whole process is really nice, really easy. And if you get home from work, you want to watch a movie, but real quickly you want to check your stocks, that's something you can do right on the OPLAY HD2 without any problems. RSS News is exactly what it says. RSS News. There's no fancy things here. It's strictly an RSS feed being parsed and displayed on your TV. You can add your own RSS feeds, so if you want to add, a Think Computer's RSS feed and keep up with what we're doing, you can do that too. Diving into the podcast feature, let's check out Anderson Cooper really quick.
Hey, I'm Anderson Cooper. Welcome to the podcast. Another emergency budget meeting in the White House with no deal. If an agreement can't be reached within...
And there you go. Currently, there is not a way to add your favorite podcast to the list. Maybe ASUS will include that later in a firmware update. Here's the setup menu on the OPLAY HD2. There aren't too many advanced settings here. It's all pretty basic, run-of-the-mill stuff. There's nothing missing. There's nothing extra. You're going to get what you need here. Time and day in the system. Network is going to have your basic network settings. It'll show your IP. You can, set up wireless in there. Video will have your video resolutions. And audio will have your different output modes. Finally, you can upgrade your firmware as expected. And that is pretty much the entire setup menu. And that concludes our review for the ASUS OPLAY HD2. If you'd like to check out our full write-up review on the OPLAY HD2, check out thinkcomputers.org. And thanks for watching.